It is Saturday, August 31st, 2024. This is breaking news from Friedman Adventures. Apparently, the Jig Strike has sank out on Cortez Bank. Everybody on board is safe, according to our sources. Everybody is on board the Legend and safe. Several boats responded to a mayday as the Jig Strike was taking on water out on Cortez Bank. Of course, we don't know anything of the origin of why they sank or what occurred, but we just wanted to let you know that the Jig Strike out of H&M Landing, a 58-foot sport boat, H&M Landing in San Diego, sank on Cortez Bank this morning. Everyone is safe, and that is the most important thing. It sounds like the sport fishing fleet in San Diego responded quickly to the mayday, got over, and rescued all the passengers. Breaking news, details are very scarce right now, but the Jig Strike has sank on Cortez Bank. Another very impressive score on the Endeavor out of Ventura Sport Fishing as they registered 50 white sea bass on their most recent trip, 6 big halibut, and lots of rockfish and sheephead to go along with this exceptional catch. Captain Tucker McCombs has been red hot lately. The sea bass fishing up there in the Channel Islands has not been all that consistent. But what has been consistent is when there's a big catch, it's been on the Endeavor with Captain Tucker McCombs. Dropper, loop, rig has been best of all with live squid or fresh dead squid. That works best of all. And if you're not sure how to tie that up, you can do a little research on it, or you can just approach a crew member on board the Endeavor and ask them how to tie it up, and they will teach you how to do it. So the following time, you'll be ready to go. Huge score, 50 white sea bass. Excellent fishing on the Endeavor. Guys that booked that trip Monday night, like Doug Tilk here in Southern California, now are really waiting for that trip. Huge score again on board the Endeavor Ventura Sport Fishing. Way to go, Tucker. How about some Bodega Bay, California bigeye tuna? Tremendous catch by private boater C.J. Joseph. Take a look at those big, beautiful big-eyed tuna. And just for the fun of it, he decided to top off with 24 albacore. What a catch by C.J. Joseph. Bodega Bay, California big-eyed tuna and albacore. On September 24th through the 26th, we'll be on board the Apollo, and you are invited for this very special 2-day trip. It is limited to only 21 anglers, includes all meals, and should be fantastic. This is when we have our best weather months in the fall, and the Apollo, they've been on their game this year. Outstanding fishing and really nice weather. Then we're going to switch over to the Amigo out of 22nd Street Landing in San Pedro, California for another 2-day adventure. October 6th through the 8th should be another great trip. Tanner, Cortez Bank, and anywhere else the fish are. Don't forget, text me at 657-227-6459 to get on board the Apollo and or the Amigo. Best weather months of the year, and hopefully lots of fish for you to catch. Hey, good morning, my dear friends, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California. This gorgeous Sunday morning here at daybreak. It is absolutely beautiful. Take a look at that ocean back there. It sounds like the weather is going to be pretty darn nice for the boats that are out fishing. We're going to have that and so much more. The Jig Strike sinks on Cortez Bank. We'll delve into that a little bit. Everybody's safe. That's the most important thing. Also, down in Ensenada, some outstanding fishing going on down there. Barracuda, 2 at a time. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Also, the long-range situation can't get any better than it is right now. 7 and 8 day trips continue to crank on the fish. Richard Keogh was on board the Polaris Supreme and raved about the fishing down that way. It was outstanding. Cortez Bank
Bluefin tuna, are they still biting? White sea bass in the Channel Islands, San Francisco, albacore, and so much more. You know what time it is. It's time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. Oh, it is so good to be back with you all. Notre Dame won that game last night. My kids and I are celebrating, so are my grandkids, even though they're too young to realize what happened. We were still really happy to see the Irish pull off that victory at Texas A&M in front of 100,000 plus people. But this is not a college football channel, it's a sport fishing channel. So let's get into that with you. Hit that like button, share these videos with a friend, subscribe to the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel. Also, you can tick that little bell. You'll be notified when there is breaking news and new content. And you can follow us on TikTok, Instagram, on Facebook, on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Tens of thousands of followers now, tens of thousands of views every single day, sometimes exceeding that. Can't thank you all enough for all that you do for us. All right, a lot to cover with you. Number one thing that I want to mention to you is I am working with my dear friend Diego Nuno, deckhand on the Royal Star, on a tackle drive, a used tackle drive that we need your help on. We're going to get tackle, fishing tackle, down to the kids of Cedros Island. Diego was born on Cedros Island, so it's going to be a beautiful thing. I've worked with Diego before. We've shipped down thousands of pieces of clothing here after the hurricane went through Cedros Island, the last time that happened. So we're, again, jumping on board, working together, and I need your help. I really, really do. If you have any used tackle, start putting it aside. I've only contacted 3 tackle stores, and they all said, no problem. You can use us as a drop-off location. Island Fishing Tackle in Carson, California, Young's Fishing Tackle in Bellflower, California, and Big Fish Bait and Tackle in Seal Beach, California. I've only asked 3. I'm going to ask more guys, San Diego guys, and some other guys up there in Ventura and elsewhere to help us along the way here. Kids on Cedros Island, they're exposed to some bad stuff also. There's drugs, there's all kinds of things and paths that kids can go down. And we believe here at Friedman Adventures and working with Diego that we want to offer the great outdoors as an alternative to those kinds of things. And we can do that by getting some tackle down there to some of the more impoverished people on Cedros, getting them a fishing rod and reel, and teaching them the beauty of the great outdoors. So if you have any used tackle, start putting it aside. Save it for us. We would deeply appreciate that as we continue to help our friends and neighbors in Mexico Lindo. All thanks to you. Diego, great working with you again on this one. I really want to go down to Cedros this time and help you hand out some of this. It would be my honor for sure. All right, let's talk about what went on board the Jig Strike. We are not going to get into the details that much. I will tell you that it seems like, by all accounts, and the captain has been posting of the Jig Strike, that they hit some kind of submerged object. At least that's what they think, and that their bow started taking on water. He had about less than 5 minutes. He had a mayday out. By all accounts, his actions were heroic, decisive, and got everybody in a lifeboat, and everybody got on board the Legend. It seems like the boats around there acted beautifully. So everybody's safe. That is the most important thing. Jig Strike did sink, however, out there on Cortez Bank. By the way, just the backstory to this, I got some intense pressure from some of the higher ups in the sport fishing business to take my post down. I guess this convocation of geniuses think that you can hide what happened out there. And you can't, okay, guys? You can't do that. And we're not taking the post down. We're going to report to people what we learn. And by all accounts, things like this happen. These are things that occur when you're on the water. And by all accounts, everybody else involved, the captain of the boat, and that's easy to check on. I can talk to passengers who were on there. The captain of the boat acted decisively, heroically, was the last one off the boat, did everything right. So my hat's off to everybody who made sure that everybody was safe and sound. The captain of the boat, as I said, seems to have acted heroically under these circumstances. All right, let's get south of the border now and go to Ensenada, where fishing is still really good, especially if you run down there to Santo Tomas. That bite has been excellent, 2 at a time on the Barracuda for Louis Prieto, and it's for real sport fishing, doing a great job. Most of the fishing in Ensenada right now is the inshore type of stuff, as that bluefin tuna offshore has lockjaw. You can find it, you can see it, but it's really tough to get it to bite right now. Now, the light switch could go on tomorrow. It could go on this morning. We're watching it closely for you. But right now, it is a gamble to go offshore and try to get that bluefin tuna to bite. Not to find it. It's pretty easy to find it. You'll find foamers all over the place, but to try to get it to bite has been really, really difficult here recently. So we'll keep our eyes on that for you. In the meantime, inshore fishing has been spectacular. Great fishing for reds and lingcod and barracuda and sand and calico bass and big bonita sometimes. And those yellows under the birds, they're still biting really, really well. Nice fall fishing. I know it's still summertime, but I'm projecting into the future. I think Ensenada is going to have a great fall bite on that inshore stuff. And who knows, maybe we'll have a few more Dorado join the party offshore. Maybe that yellowfin will push up here. Nobody knows for sure what's going to happen. So hang on. Good inshore fishing. We like that. Long range fishing has been spectacular for all the boats that are fishing out of San Diego on those 7 and 8 day trips. It has been absolutely spectacular fishing, and that is continuing. Richard Keogh. Richard got into sport fishing just a few years ago, and man, has he put his heart and soul in it. He's becoming a really great angler, and he had a tremendous trip on board the Polaris Supreme. They just returned from about a 500-mile journey down the Baja coast, fishing the ridge and surrounding areas, and they had absolutely magnificent fishing on the yellowfin tuna, as good as it could possibly get on the YFT. A lot of 40 to 70 pound fish, fishing that size, underhanding fly line sardine on 50 pound was an instant bite, but you could actually get a bite on heavier tackle than that. That's how really great it was. Wide open fishing going on down there in that neck of the woods, not just for the Polaris Supreme, Independence, Royal Polaris. I mean, I can go on and on and on. Vagabond. All those guys have had spectacular yellowfin tuna fishing. Now, they had a little bit of a problem on the Polaris Supreme. They went to catch yellowtail, and the yellowfin tuna wouldn't leave them alone. The yellowfin, voracious, pushed the yellowtail out of there. They caught some yellows, but it was YFT City on this trip, and it was good. Then they went inshore around Natividad Island, where they caught some barracuda and some bass and stuff like that. But Richard ended up with a surface iron white sea bass. Nice going, Richard. So happy he had such a great trip on the Polaris Supreme. A truly magnificent trip, and it exemplifies what's going on for the long-range boys right now. It has truly been outstanding. Hey, there is an opening on a trip leaving Tuesday morning to Cedros with Sam De La Torre from Island Fishing Tackle. If you'd like to get on that trip, very little time left, but you can call Rosie and book that trip. It should be some great fishing. And if you're going with Sam and the guys from Island Fishing Tackle, it simply doesn't get any better than that. Give Rosie a call today. All right, don't forget, if you have tax problems, you want to contact Tim Marquez. Tim will take care of all your tax needs. He's a wonderful guy, 35 years of doing this. Make sure you give Tim a call today. And for your heating and or air conditioning needs, it's John Lopez at Efficient Heating and Air Conditioning. Give John a call, just like Sam De La Torre did recently, and he'll take care of you. I guarantee you that. So, some really good stuff going on down the Baja coast. No question about that. All right, let's talk about the bluefin tuna bite out there on Tanner and Cortez Bank. Is that beautiful? I have to take one moment and marvel at it. Wow, what a crossing the Pursuit is making. And the El Patron over to Catalina Island this morning. Flat, calm, no wind, gorgeous. It is beautiful right now. So, out there on Tanner Cortez, the weather is pretty darn good. It's a little breezy out there, and there's some swells out there, but it's not that bad. boats out there are still catching bluefin tuna, although it seems to have backed off a little bit. There are several guys that are getting limits of that 15 to 40 pound bluefin, maybe even 50-pound bluefin tuna on Tanner Bank and Cortez Bank. We're seeing some really good fishing there, but there were some scores that were not up to par here recently. So it seems like that Ensenada light switch went down a little bit on us, and maybe the Tanner and Cortez Bank light switch went down a little bit on us. For sure, 25-pound fluorocarbon is the way to go. And again, there are boats catching limits. That is 2 fish per angler per day out there in that neck of the woods with 25-pound fluorocarbon, smaller hooks, and a good hot bait. And sometimes it is a long soak, letting your bait sit out there for several minutes, like 5 minutes. Let it swim way, way out away from the boat. That's where those bluefin are. That's where those yellowtail are, away from the boat. So sometimes it's a long soak, and sometimes you're changing your bait on a regular basis. How are you going to know the difference? Talk to your crew. Number one. Number two, be observant. Check out who's getting bit and how they're getting bit. And don't be afraid to walk up to the guy and say, hey, were you long soaking? Were you changing your bait really, really fast? What are you using? All of that. Your observational skills are really, really important. So keep that in mind, and that will help you a great deal. The yellowtail fishing out there has been spectacular. That is backed off a little bit right now. We'll see where it all goes from here. And speaking of bluefin tuna, guys were telling me they were seeing bluefin right off Torrance Beach yesterday. Raul Tirado Jr. was up at Paradise Cove, and he said he saw bluefin tuna from the beach just looking out there. You see them out there? Are those BFT in here? It wouldn't surprise me one bit. You know, in Redondo, they are saying they saw those fish off Torrance Beach. I've been wondering when that was going to happen. And of course, it happened about a week ago off of the Palos Verdes Peninsula, off Malibu and several other areas. But that Tuna Canyon in Redondo is a spot we used to fish when I was a kid, many millenniums ago. And that is a really excellent place to catch bluefin tuna. And hopefully we're going to see some of the really local boats, maybe the Redondo Special, get in on some of that bluefin tuna. That would be spectacular if they made that happen. So really good BFT signal, not biting as well, but hang on, everybody. Now, weather out there on Tanner and Cortez, we've got to watch out for you very, very closely. Wednesday afternoon, it is forecast to get pretty nasty out there. We'll be watching it for you, and then that is supposed to last into Saturday. So again, that's a little bit out there in terms of the forecast. So we'll hang on and watch, but that's when it's supposed to get nasty out there. Isaac Parcells was here for our surf fishing day. He's going to be on board the Voyager. Man, I wish you all the very best, Isaac, and happy birthday to you, my friend. You are the best. We love you when you're down here surf fishing with us and having so much fun. And I wish you a great trip. And I don't think your weather looks that bad. I know you were concerned about that. I don't think it looks that bad. I think you guys are going to be just fine out there for that trip. All right, let's talk the islands now. And we'll start at the Coronado Islands, where one of the most spectacular yellowtail bites that I've seen in decades has really come to a screeching halt here recently, just picking at the yellows at the Coronado Islands. There's barracuda, bonita, there's rockfish, there's calico bass. You can still get a good smack in on that, but many of the boats are focused in on the yellows, and that other stuff is bycatch for them. And the yellow bite there at the islands has been slow, and so has the offshore bite. Now, I'm kind of combining both of those because the full day fleet out of San Diego, Grande, Scott Buchert's working on there. Way to go, Scott. The San Diego, the Liberty. Those boys, if they don't see a good bite at the Coronado Islands, they're going to go offshore. They're going to give you your money's worth. I tip my hat to those guys who make that happen on a regular basis. Those boats that leave in the morning and come back the very same afternoon. They have a small window, and so many times they make it happen. Right now, though, kind of slow fishing going on. We're hoping that's going to come together. The Grande had 10 bluefin tuna a day ago. Yesterday, 2 bluefin tuna. Hopefully, that's going to come together. Mission Bell with 9 yellowtail yesterday. And again, if you fish the islands, you can get a lot of that other stuff mixed in with it, including some rockfish. Hopefully, that's going to get going again at San Clemente Island. We continue to see some decent fishing. Really good calico bass fishing. If you focus in on that, there's a mix of white sea bass, because there's still squid there. There's some yellowtail there. There's some big bonita, and there's plenty of rockfish. So pretty darn good fishing at Catalina Island. We continue to see outstanding bonito fishing. The Pursuit had a great bonita day. And then they have that variety of fish out of 22nd Street Landing. I mean, a few blue perch and whitefish and sheephead and rockfish and barracuda and calico bass. I mean, there's real variety. No big numbers of any of those, but real variety. Same thing on the El Patron out of Long Beach Sport Fishing. They had a couple yellows yesterday. We continue to see yellows at Catalina Island. They don't want to bite that well, but they're there, and we're hoping that's going to settle in and bite even better. Well, I think we could have a really good fall bite, September, October bite at Catalina Island. We'll see what water temperatures do, what squid is available, and what those yellows do, but hopefully that's going to click into gear at Cat Good Bonito Fishing. If you'd like to go to Catalina Island, prices are reduced on the weekdays on the El Patron out of Long Beach Sport Fishing. She's fast, she's speedy, she's got a great crew. I love the El Patron, and you can book by going to longbeachsportfishing.org or give them a call. As you can see, the phone number right there, and get on the El Patron. If you can go weekdays, less boat pressure, better price, all good. But if you have to go on a weekend, it's after Labor Day almost now, and that's when boat pressure starts to reduce quite a bit. Gorgeous seas, and I see some birds hitting the water out there. It is a beautiful day. Channel Islands, Tucker McCombs slams a white sea bass again. I love that guy. Tremendous fishing on the Endeavor out of Ventura Harbor Sport Fishing for his most recent trip. And, you know, Tucker had a score like this not that long ago, and we put it up there, and guys that watch Friedman Adventures on a regular basis said, I already booked. I'm going Monday night with Tucker. One of them is Doug Tilt. Doug, I see great things in your future. Anyway, Doug's going to be on there. A lot of you other Friedman Adventures family members are going to be on board the Endeavor Monday night. I wish you the best of luck. I hope Tucker's putting the wood to him again here today. Would not surprise me one bit. He's been doing great. The Island Spirit with tremendous rock fishing up there in the Channel Islands half-day boat. And that's a bit of a misnomer. They leave at 8 in the morning, come back at 4 in the afternoon. You get your money's worth on the Island Spirit. They had 450 rockfish yesterday in tremendous fishing. Really great stuff. I love fishing the Island Spirit. I love Captain Daniel Hottaway. He knows that. And you will too, and the crew, and Bert and the galley. Everybody's great. You're going to have a really fun time on the Island Spirit. Ventura sportfishing.com, or give them a call at 805-676-3474. We should have a live interview with Captain Daniel Hottaway here in the next couple of days. We'll be watching that for you very, very closely. Some really good stuff. There's some calico bass. There's a few yellowtail up there. The gray light's been getting in on that. There's bluefin tuna nearby. The gray light's gotten in on some of that here recently also. There's all kinds of opportunities up there, and the weather looks good for the whole week ahead. There's a couple of days where it gets a little breezy, but not bad. It depends on where you're fishing, outer islands or around Santa Cruz or Anacapa. But that Anacapa, Santa Cruz Island looks beautiful. It should be a gorgeous morning this morning. I'm assuming the Island Spirit's going to have another great day of fishing. And we'll go back to deep water rock cod fishing up there. I believe it's September 15th. Not sure about that, but I believe it's in a couple of weeks, and we'll go back to that. Up there in Santa Barbara, rockfish for those boys up there. Morro Bay, Avila Beach, good rockfish, some big lings up there. San Francisco, albacore, and lots of ling caught up there in that neck of the woods. So we continue to see some really excellent fishing going on. Let's go down to San Diego and talk about our local bite, and it has been a really great local year down there in San Diego. I don't know how it can get much better than it has been. The new Seaforth continues to catch an occasional yellowtail, some calico bass, some bonito. The bonito fishing down there has been really, really good. Hun Lee is a guy who was on the new Seaforth. He's a very humble guy who admits his mistakes. He said if you could fly line a Dean back behind the new Seaforth, you were in the game for a sizable yellowtail. He said he hooked his first fish, and then his instincts told him, pull hard, button down on the drag, pull as hard as you can. While the crew was saying, hey, dude, you're in the kelp, lighten up on your drag, you'll cut through that kelp and get your fish. And Hun lost his fish. And in a moment of despair, he fly lined another bait back behind the boat, got bit, and then said, you know what, I'm going to listen to these guys. They're out here all the time. They know what they're talking about. Backed off on the drag, line cut through the kelp, and he got a nice big yellowtail. As you can see there, Hun Lee is an example of listening to the crew and learning and being observant. Nice going, some good calico bass fishing going on there also. Dolphin, wide open bonito fishing. Excellent bonito bite on board the Dolphin down there in San Diego. The Daily Double had a yellowtail yesterday, so that local bite. There's sand bass, there's calico bass, there's those occasional exotics, even a white sea bass or two here and there, and good bonito fishing right now. Continuing. Hopefully you'll be able to get out and take advantage of it. We got another day left to our Labor Day weekend. Up here, Oceanside and Dana Wharf, good calico bass action. Lots of action going on for the local boats there. May not be keeper bass all the time, but it'll keep you busy and having a lot of fun. And more importantly, you are learning the great art of choosing a bait and casting, because the repetition of doing those things on those local boats is more than you get when you're fishing offshore bluefin tuna. Those are the schools you need to graduate from to get out and fish that bluefin, because you're going to up your game on casting, choosing a bait, being observant. It's really, really important. Here in the San Pedro Long Beach area, we continue to see some pretty darn good fishing on the sculpin, whitefish, rockfish, with occasional flurries on the bass. Some great nighttime fishing, twilight fishing out of Marina del Rey. We've seen some big old sand bass. Marcus Fain with a 7-pounder the other day. Good bass fishing at night. Twilight's been the best time to be catching bass. During the daytime, they'll scratch out some bass, but mostly fall back on sculpin and rockfish. And Channel Islands, we already kind of covered that for you. What a magnificent day we had surf fishing yesterday. In fact, I might tag that on. Hang on. At the end of today's show, I might tag what went on down here. It was a really magnificent day. We didn't kill the fish, but there was enough fish caught that made it a lot of fun. There was a neighbor of mine down here in Surfside who rode a wave in, and I got to tell you, it was his daughter, Riley's first wave. And I just thought, hey, I need to videotape that. I had no idea it was her first wave, but he was coming in, and I wanted to see that. Buenos dias. Good luck today. Thank you. All right, another surf fisherman going by. Hopefully he's going to do well. Anyway, it was her first wave, and man, I was able to capture that and give that to him. We caught some yellowfin croaker here. We caught a whole bunch of guitar fish, more commonly known as shovel-nosed sharks. We had a great time. Big Fish Bait and Tackle was giving 10% off of everything in the store in celebration of a huge turnout. I mean, there were people all up and down the beach yesterday, surf fishing. Over 40 people down here for that great event. Doug Tilt providing health food for everybody, bringing donuts down. Michael Limon having a great time. In fact, when we got back up to the house, the neighbor said, "Hey, fish man." And I said, "Yeah?" And he said, "Hey, can I hand you something over the fence?" And I said, "Well, yeah, sure." Hands me over this giant tackle box loaded with tackle. He said, "Maybe you could give that to a kid." So I gave it to Michael Limon. A lot of freshwater tackle, a lot of great stuff going on. Surf fishing down there around Huntington. We're seeing some more Corvina going on. Don't forget, Big Fish Bait and Tackle giving away a free custom surf fishing rod every single month. This month starts a new tournament. I'm not sure what the fish is. I'll try to figure it out and put it in writing down below. But you can get all those details when you go in to Big Fish Bait and Tackle, Pelican Patrol going by. And you buy their ruler. You're going to need that ruler to measure your catch with and upload it to their Instagram page. And once again, you can get all those details. Go buy that ruler. I think it's $5, $10. And then you're in the contest for the rest of the year. Every month they're giving away a free custom fishing rod. We've got a lot of great surf fishing to go. This is perfect surf fishing conditions. Hopefully the fish will bite even better. Up there in the Santa Monica Bay, Josh DeZale has been catching quite a bit of Corbina. He is quite the Corbina expert, so really good stuff going on there. All right, I don't know what to tell you. It's a beautiful Sunday morning. I'm so happy that you have decided to spend a little bit of time with us here on Friedman Adventures. Can't thank you enough for that. Tens of thousands of views yesterday on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, right here on our YouTube channel. I owe it all to you as we continue to grow and have tens of thousands of subscribers now when you combine all of our different accounts. And over, I don't know, over on TikTok, I think we have 500,000 likes just on TikTok. So I can't thank you enough. That is all of you. Don't forget, Cedros Island, we are doing that used tackle drive. Put your tackle aside right now. Diego Nuno, Royal Star Deckhand, born on the island of Cedros. Him and I are going to be working. You can drop that off at Young's Fishing Tackle in Bellflower, at Big Fish Bait and Tackle in Seal Beach, at Island Fishing Tackle in Carson, California. For the time being, we'll add more tackle stores, and we're going to make a difference in the lives of some children on the island of Cedros in Mexico. I can't thank you enough. Also, we have a warehouse full of clothing and so much more. Thanks to Gallagher Staging. Joe Gallagher is #1, always with his hand in the community, helping quietly. I can't keep it quiet. I deeply appreciate everything Joe and his son Joey do for us, and as a consequence, do for the people of Mexico. We'll be sending that down for Christmas this year also. Have a great, beautiful Sunday. Have a great finish to your Labor Day weekend. Stay safe, and I hope to see you really, really soon.
A huge crowd showed up for the Friedman Adventures Surf Fishing Adventure Labor Day Weekend 2024. It was so good to meet all of you and see so many people who came out to enjoy the great sport of surf fishing that we enjoy so much. Doug Tilk brought donuts. Everybody brought a smile, and we had nothing but fun. Some people were swimming, some people were out paddleboarding, and others were fishing.
Good morning. We got Owen here this morning with his first fish of the day. Oh, on squid. Cut squid. Owen, what do you think? That was fast.
Yeah, very fast.
We got Brad. Heck yeah. Woo! Yeah.
Hey, the birthday boy. Happy birthday, Isaac.
Thank you.
How's it going, buddy?
Good.
What do we got here?
Little guitar fish.
We'll take that, right?
Heck yeah. Have a good day.
It's a cool little fish. And high tide's at 9:30, so we're early, man. We got a long time to go here.
Caught some bar perch, yellowfin croaker, I think, right?
Yeah, we're on it. Beautiful. All right, nice going. What's going on here, boys? You got a nice fish?
Got a guitar fish. Owen careful.
Pez Guitarra. There we go. Very cool.
You want to pick him up? Just watch that other hook. Hey, let go of the line for a second. Let go of the line for a second. I'll help you. We get him up. Just watch that other hook, okay?
Very good. Let's see that thing. Very nice. Father and son getting them.
Look at him.
Good job, boys.
I think we got one. Finally hooked one up here.
Woo! Woo! Michael, is that a fish?
Yeah,
You feel it pulling?
yeah.
What is it? A nice yellowtail stingray. Looked like a butterfly ray, right? Couldn't really get a good shot. A mariposa. Se va. There it goes. Good job, though. Catch and release. Grandpa.
We finally got it.
Michael. Nice butterfly ray, boys.
Oh, it's a
Right, butterfly. feeding right there. Fights like something like that, yeah. What is that? We got a bean.
Thank you, Phil, on your sand crab you caught us.
Is that what it worked?
Yeah.
All right, sand crabs are working. Nice going, Isaac. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Let me get this, get you a good picture of it.
Whoa.
Not again. Oh, not again.
I'm loving it, man.
There we go.
All right, hang on to that because I'm going to shoot a photo of this. Clickbait, right?
100%. All right, I'm going to go change to a high-low rig here.
Thanks, Philip. You get that? You got your first wave. Woo! Was that her first wave? Oh my God. How cool is that? I did get... High five. She went out and saw the dolphin. How was that, man? Seeing the dolphin and everything?
That was awesome, man.
So special.
Yeah, we just followed them all around and we came back.
Oh my God, look who's here.
Riley just caught her first wave. Nice.
And it's going to be on the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Woo!
Riley,
Good
go
job,
back.
Riley.
You want to go back in?
Glad we caught that special moment.
Yeah, you got to get me that. video.
Absolutely, 100%.
Oh my God.
100%.
All right, you want to lay it out there? There.
Big fish?
Ray? Oh,
Another guitar fish. We'll take it.
thought it was bigger.
That's all right, man. It's a pescado, right?
That first time.
Do you want to hold him over or do you want to just feel him? We gotta keep it. Feel him, stop, now let go. Reel. Turn your hand over. There you go. Now reel real hard. Try to keep the tip up so the rod will help. No, up. Keep reeling. You got it. Reel. Got bigger with all the kelp, I think, but you got a
That
guitar.
was like my second.
What do you think, Mom?
I think that's awesome. We love kelp.
It's still not as big as that. Do you think that one's bigger than the one that I caught at Jig Strike?
Not as big as that big one you caught, but it's a good one. It's a good one. You want to hold him for a picture? Here, I'll hold your on. Squeeze his tail. Hold it where my hand is. Grab both hands. Got him? All right. Hold him up for the picture. Just lay it flat so he's not upside down. Good job, Doug.
Yeah. That's what I thought. Is that the first guitar fish you've ever caught? Yes.
Nice yellowfin croaker, buddy.
Yeah.
Woohoo! Nice. That's a nice one, dude.
Yeah, it is.
What'd you catch that on?
Squid.
Oh, really?
Yeah, cut squid.
That's crazy. Excellent. Good job. Gus, it's your turn next.
Yeah, it is.
They're just starting to bite. Nice job, Trevor.
feeling so blessed to have been a part of this, meeting so many great people, family, fun, kids in the great outdoors. Riley's first wave. The dolphin playing all around us and catching some fish. In the meantime, it was another spectacular day with Friedman Adventures. The surf fishing adventure was a great one, Labor Day weekend 2024. Hope we see you at the next Friedman Adventures trip or adventure or event. And I hope you're having a wonderful Labor Day weekend. To all of you who came out, thank you so very much. We'll see you soon again.